Today we've got games 2 and 3 of the NLDS here in year number 5 of the San Francisco Giants franchise here on MLB The Show 24. Last episode we found out that we're going to be matched up with the Dodgers in the first round, and we won this first game 7-3, scoring 5 runs in the 8th inning. The Dodgers hit the ball well early with home runs from Casas, Castro, and Betts through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning. Shohei Ohtani had a solid start. I feel like he wasn't as good as the numbers suggested, though. He put himself in a lot of jams, but give him credit. He was able to get out of them, and our offense really struggled with runners on base in this game until the 8th inning, where the Dodgers bullpen completely imploded, and that's one of the big differences between these two teams. Great offenses, great starting pitching, but our bullpen is considerably better, and that was shown here in Game 1. Sandy Alcantara did not have a great start. Obviously, he's got this dark cloud over his head of prior postseason failures, and he didn't do himself any favors in this game, allowing 3 home runs through the 4 innings, and it certainly doesn't make him look better that the bullpen threw 5 scoreless to finish out the job. The plan is that Kyle Harrison will get the start in Game 2, and then from there we'll figure out if we want to go with Mason Miller or Fernando Molina for Game 3 in Los Angeles. We're hoping that after today, this series is over and we'll be on to the NLCS. But it's going to be a challenge sweeping these guys, although we certainly have had their number this year. Now 13-1 against the Dodgers this year. We're looking for 2 more to completely own them in the season rivalry, whether it's regular season or playoffs. So let's get this show on the road. Game 2 of the NLDS here in San Francisco. The Giants coming off a strong Game 1 win where we did not play our best baseball. The offense, again, not doing well with runners on base. We did not get a good start from Sandy Alcantara, but the bullpen bunkered down when they needed to, and the offense made plays late. It all stemmed from Kyler Rodriguez, a pinch hitter, hustling on a ground ball that could have been a double play, but he was safe. That led to Brendan Donovan getting a 2-run double for the lead. Tommy Rogers bringing him home with a single, and Jung-Hoo Lee shutting the door with a 2-run homer. And what a game for Lee. He had 4 extra base hits in this one, including the clincher. Let's see if the Giants can add another win to the win column with Kyle Harrison facing off against Nick Frasso for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Should be a fun one here as we get set and look at both lineups. Now, interestingly, Shohei Ohtani did not hit in Game 1. They only pitched him. A little bit peculiar, but he will return to the lineup for Game 2, so the Dodgers have all of the regular starters playing. As for Kyle Harrison, up and down regular season, he was on fire the first couple months of the year. Then he got injured, and then he kind of slowed down, and I feel like that's been the case with Harrison. He starts the year off really well. He seems to get injured, and then he doesn't seem to be the same guy, but he does have a good track record of postseason success, so we're hoping that carries into today's game. We'll get things started with Kyle Tucker. He goes down on the slider, a little lefty-on-lefty crime. I'm excited about the matchup of Harrison versus this lineup because they are pretty heavy in terms of left-handed bats. Julio, Cesar, and Seco grounds it to first. Nice scoop by Munetaka Murakami for the second out of the frame. That'll bring up Shohei Ohtani, his first at-bat of the series against us. Hit .364 in the wild card round against the Padres as he chases the circle change. Would have been ball 4 if he let it go by. But ultimately, he takes a big swing and a miss. And for Kyle Harrison, he gets through the first pretty quickly, striking out both Tucker and Ohtani. Nick Frasso getting the start for the Dodgers, kind of used in the Fernando Molina role that we had. Now, the difference is, unlike Molina, he didn't finish in the top 3 for Cy Young, but he certainly had a solid season, I suppose, as Tommy Rogers bloops this one into the air, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So a lucky bounce for San Francisco, just 67 miles an hour off the bat. Now the speedster's aboard, though, with a chance to potentially run. Here's Jung-Hoo Lee, 4 for 5 with 3 doubles and a homer in the first game, but he goes down looking to start on the changeup. Really nice pitch by Frasso, hits the bottom left corner of the zone as Rogers goes for second, and he is safe. So Tommy Rogers steals the base. He's in scoring position. We'll see if Ian Happ can drive him in. Count is full, 3-2. And Happ will go down on the fastball. Nice pitch by Frasso for the second out of the inning. And that brings up Munetaka Murakami, baseball's home run champ this year, finished in second place for the NL MVP. Behind 1-2, and he takes a big swing and a miss on the sweeping curve. A filthy pitch by Frasso, who strikes out 3. Following the base hit by Tommy Rogers, and through 1, we've got no score. As we move into the second, we'll see if either team can get their first runs of the game here. Middle of the lineup due up for the Dodgers with 2 away. It's Mookie Betts, only hitting 154. He did homer in the last game, but he checks his swing on the circle change, and so far so good for Kyle Harrison. 6 up, 6 down for the lefty as we travel into the bottom of the second inning. The Giants looking to get some damage done here with Jose Ramirez. Count is even 2-2 with 2 away, and J-Ram sends it up the middle. That one goes for a base hit. Jose Ramirez at 35 years old looking for that first World Series ring. He made it to the World Series 12 seasons ago with Cleveland. Hasn't gotten back there. Johnny Hackman now hits this one high into center. That one should be caught, though, and it will. Dodgers get through the inning. Frasso's looked pretty good through 2. He's allowed a couple of hits, but no further damage done. Remains scoreless as we move into the third. Kyle Harrison now facing off against the back end of the lineup. Hitting 9th is Tristan Casas. He homered in the last game as well. Flies this one into left. Jung-Hoo Lee is under it. A perfect 3 innings for Kyle Harrison, as he goes through an entire trip down the lineup without allowing a base runner. And so far, he has looked outstanding in this game as we go bottom 3. He hasn't gotten any run support so far. We'll see if the Giants can change that. Donovan with a liner. Nice play at second by Willie Castro to snag that one for the first out of the inning. 2 away now for Jung-Hoo Lee, coming off his big game 1. Up the middle, base hit. A single into center. His OPS, I believe, will end up moving farther lower because of that hit, which is sort of insane to think about. But nonetheless, he is on base. That'll bring up Ian Happ now. 1-1 pitch. Gets a hanging one up in the zone. Swings a little bit early. And Casas is able to catch it off the liner. Didn't hit the ground. Would have been able to make the play anyway. And if there was less than 2 outs, they probably would have gotten the double. Nonetheless, remains scoreless going into the fourth. Kyle Harrison's been perfect through 3. The offense has given us nothing through 3. Full count for Ohtani. He draws a walk. First base runner of the game for the Dodgers. We wanted to be smart there. We didn't want to give Ohtani anything too good to hit. Even if that is jeopardizing the perfect game, we are in the 4th inning. So kind of too early to think about that as the Dodgers get their first hit of the game. Single into center for Trout. I think Ohtani would have been safe at 3rd had he gone. But nonetheless, there's runners on 1st and 2nd. I can understand him not wanting to risk it. Huge at bat now for Rutschman. He lines this one into left. Jung-Hoo Lee tracks it down at the warning track. So Kyle Harrison lets up his first walk and hit of the game. But San Francisco's able to avoid the rally from the Dodgers. Still no score as we move into the bottom of the 4th. 4-5-6 due up. That starts with Munetaka Murakami. 0 for 1 so far with the big strikeout. And this time, he goes down looking. I feel like Murakami's approach has just been kind of off so far in the playoffs. He doesn't look like himself in this series against the Dodgers. Full count for Stone Garrett. Ooh, that's a nice pitch. Can't really fault Garrett too much there. It looked like it was going to be outside, but Frasso places it perfectly. Blake Sabol now ahead 2-1. Lines this one, and that one will be caught at short by Mookie Betts. 4 scoreless for Frasso. That's his first 1-2-3 inning. We've got ourselves a full-on pitching duel. Neither side letting up so far. As we move into the 5th, starting off with Mookie Betts, and he singles into center field. So after a really good start for Kyle Harrison, where he retired the first 11 batters in a row, it seems like the Dodgers are starting to get a little something together here. Willie Castro now 1-1, up the middle, base hit. They're getting all these weak singles up the middle of the field. 4 of their last 5 batters have reached base, but ironically, their best swing within that stretch was the line out by Adley Rutschman. Nonetheless, you'll take base runners in any way you can get them. 2 on, nobody out. Huge couple of at-bats upcoming for Harrison as he starts with a strikeout against Jackson Holliday on the slurve. He needed that one badly to get back into a rhythm here, as that brings up Tristan Casas. A couple lefties in a row for Harrison as Casas goes down on the slider. And this is where the disadvantage of playing 3 lefties in a row really comes in, because now Kyle Tucker probably needs a base hit to keep this inning alive. 2-2 pitch, up the middle, base hit. The run will look to score. The throw from Rogers is just going to go to the cutoff man. Mookie Betts is safe, and the Dodgers score first with an RBI single by Kyle Tucker. All 4 of their hits are singles up the middle with exit velos probably shy of 100. As Enciso singles it into right, and it's 2-0. Probably the hardest base hit of the game so far for the Dodgers. And now there's 2 on, 2 away for Shohei Ohtani. They can break this game wide open. Sharp liner into right. Garrett is under it. He makes the play. But the Dodgers will certainly take that inning as they score 2 runs with a pair of RBI singles by Kyle Tucker and Julio Cesar Enciso. So the Dodgers are the first to score in this pitching duel. The Giants now will look to rebuttal with Jose Ramirez leading things off. And Ramirez crushes it into right center. The Giants on the board. It's now 2-1. J-Ram with his first postseason home run of the year, 386 feet, at exit velo just shy of 100. So after the Dodgers get 2, San Francisco with a quick clap back as the home run by Ramirez puts them right back in the ball game. Big swing for Jose. He's now 2 for 2 in this one as it's a 2-1 lead. Brendan Donovan now gets a hanging pitch up and away. I think he would have rathered something better than a single there, but we'll take it. A base runner is a base runner at the end of the day. And so Donovan is aboard with 1 away, and a huge at-bat here for Jung-Hoo Lee, who's been unbelievably good so far in this series, and he does not look to be done. Rips it into right center, off the wall in Triples Alley. That's probably a home run at most other parks. Lee rounds second, heads for third, he's safe. And more importantly, Brendan Donovan is able to score. We're tied at 2 with an RBI triple by Jung-Hoo Lee, who has basically hit for the cycle if you combine the last game and a half. Ian Happ now hits this one high and deep into left, but it will be caught by Enciso. So the pitching duel appears to be dead. The Dodgers get 2 in the top half, the Giants get 2 in the bottom half, as that brings us into the 6th. We will go to the bullpen. Kyle Harrison really slowed down there. Credit on him to getting out of the jam and pitching overall a good game, but he was unraveling pretty fast. Joel Payamps will replace him at a solid season out of the pen. 3.86 ERA, 1.2 whip. As he faces off against the catcher, Adley Rutschman. Had 3 hits in the first matchup, and he gets 1 here. Singles into left field. A base runner here for the Dodgers. They know that they don't want this game to be tied or super close late. Again, given the disparity between the 2 bullpens, they've got to get something going here pretty quickly. Try to give themselves a lead so they can feel a lot better about the waning innings of this game as Mookie Betts draws a walk. And now there's 2 on. Big opportunity upcoming for Willie Castro. Base hit in his last at-bat, looking for another one here, and he won't get it. Swinging a miss on the slider for out number 2, and from there we're actually going to make a pitching change. With the next 3 batters being lefties, and for the next 5 if you include Shohei Ohtani, it seems like a pretty good time to bring in JoJo Romero. We want to be extra smart here with these pitching matchups, and we trust Romero, one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball. Holiday chases the slider as JoJo Romero gets out of the jam. Dodgers leave a couple runners aboard, and this game remains tied as we go to the bottom half of the frame. LA will go to the bullpen as well. This is how they lost the game in Game 1. They're hoping for a different result here with Landon Knack, who was only used 3 times in the regular season in just under 12 innings. They're pushing him into a big spot here. Munetaka Murakami hits this one into the gap. His first base hit of the postseason. It'll roll into the gap and go for a double. That's the Munetaka Murakami we've been looking for, who hasn't really been visible through the first game and a half. Good to see him get a nice crack at that one. Blake Sabol now hits this one high and deep into left center. Enciso at the track, at the wall, and he makes the play. I thought that had a chance to go over. Runner will make it to third, though. Risky decision in a way to tag up, but he was never going to be thrown out there. And this way, say an infield single arises, runner scores. Jose Ramirez is 2 for 2, but he goes down looking on the low slider. Great pitch by Knack. He gets out of the inning for the Dodgers, and this game remains tied at 2. Part of the reason why we brought Romero in the last inning was to have him go through the 7th. Again, he's facing off against a lot of lefties. That starts with Casas, who goes down looking on the high and inside fastball. Good start for JoJo as he now has to face off against Kyle Tucker. Big hit in his last at-bat, drove in the first run of the game. He's behind 1-2, though, and he strikes out on the sinker. These lefties are not getting anything off of JoJo Romero, as that brings us to Julio Cesar Enciso. Also drove in a run during his last at-bat. 2-2 pitch. It's a chopper over to short. Donovan charges. Throw to first is in time. An inning and a third scoreless for Romero. I wouldn't be surprised to see him return for the 8th to face off against Ohtani. But nonetheless, that brings us to the bottom of the 7th. Still a tie game. Johnny Hackman gets things started. He's 0 for 5 so far in the postseason. Looking to change that here. And he does. That one drops into center for a single. Not an easy pitch to hit. The outside fastball on the edge of the strike zone is able to connect, though. And San Francisco starts the inning with a base runner. Brendan Donovan is now up. He had the big double in game 1. 3-2. Got him looking, and he is livid with some harsh words for the umpire. He better watch himself before he says something he regrets. Tommy Rogers is now up. He finds himself ahead 2-1. Rogers skies this one high and deep into center. At the track, at the wall. It's caught. Off the bat, I thought it had a chance, but unfortunately, Trout is able to hover under it and make the play. Runner goes to second. Hackman is safe. Risky decision to have him steal there because regardless, I just really want Jung-Hoo Lee to have an opportunity to drive him in. But now all Lee would need is a single. 3-1. This one is hit well into the opposite field. And this one is going to drop. Bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. That'll bring home Hackman. And the Giants lead 3-2. If not for the stolen base, Hackman would still be at third. So the decision to have him swipe second ends up paying off. And San Francisco is now ahead, but they're not done. Ian Happ into the gap. Hey, that rhymed. Jung-Hoo Lee will score. It's 4-2. Is the Dodger bullpen imploding again? We saw this in game 1, and it might be playing out in front of our eyes once more. So San Francisco will make a change. They're going to bring in the veteran righty, Jorge Lopez. He's been the one guy who's been good for them so far in the postseason, 2 2/3 scoreless. Runner at second base here in a full count for Munetaka Murakami. He draws a walk, and now there's 2 on, 2 away. A huge at-bat for Stone Garrett, who's been quiet today. 3-1. Walk. Bases are loaded. So far, Lopez can't seem to find the strike zone. Obviously, this is normally a death sentence for the Giants, but Blake Sabol has other plans. Into the gap. That should clear him. 5-2, 6-2. Garrett heads home. It's 7-2. A bases clearing double for Blake Sabol. A 5-run 8th inning is what Spark does for the win in the last game. Now we've got a 5-run 7th inning. Third separate pitcher of the inning for the Dodgers. It's Kevin Ginkel, whose ERA is in the double digits. Jose Ramirez looking to keep the rally going as he goes down on the high fastball. The Giants get 5, and much like the situation last game, we did all of it with 2 outs. This was very avoidable for the Dodgers, but we got a couple of big hits in a row. Jung-Hoo Lee starts it off with the double, then he's able to score with the double by Happ, and Blake Sabol puts the icing on top with the 3-run double as Ohtani strikes out. Romero faces off against 5 batters. He retires all of them. The lefties go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and this is where we're going to take him out of the game, replacing him with John Schreiber. He pitched a scoreless inning in game 1, looking to do so again here in game 2 and keep the lead at 5, which he would. Bottom 8, Kyler Rodriguez, pinch hitter, had the big ground out, I guess, in the last game where he was safe at first, sparking the rally as he goes down looking this time and will not be able to make it over to first. Brendan Donovan now. Gapper should go for extras. The Giants offense clearly not satisfied at 5 as Donovan is aboard with a double. So now there's a runner here in scoring position with 1 away. We'll see if San Francisco can bring him home, as that brings us to Jung-Hoo Lee. 3 for 4 in this one after a 4 for 5 game 1. He hits that one really well, but it is caught by Mike Trout. Through 2 games, Jung-Hoo Lee is 7 for 10 with a single, 4 doubles, a triple, a homer, and I believe 4 RBIs. We're going to have Scott Rios pitch the 9th. With us building a nice lead in the 7th, we don't have to use our high leverage arms like Duvall and Bautista. why not get Scott Rios his first postseason experience? Now, if things get rocky, we will not hesitate to take him out of the game. But let's see what he can do when the lights shine the brightest as Mookie Betts flies out to center. Rios started in 13 games this year. This is his first time ever coming out of the bullpen. As Castro hits it off his foot, Murakami gets to it. Throw to first is not in time. Rios a little bit shaken up, but it's a good sign that he was able to run over to first. We're going to keep him in the game. He's a tough cookie, but again, if he allows a few more base runners, we're not going to hesitate. Duvall is getting loose in the bullpen if needed. Jackson Holiday now behind 1-2. Lines it to third. It's caught by Jose Ramirez for the second out of the inning. As that brings us to Tristan Casas. Game on the line here for the Dodgers, in danger of going down in the series 2-0. He finds himself behind 1-2. Pitch on its way from Scott Rios. This one is grounded to short. Donovan, throw to first, is in time, and the San Francisco Giants lead the NLDS 2-0 over the Dodgers. They win Game 2 by the score of 7-2. And this one feels eerily similar in a lot of ways to Game 1, in the sense that it was a really close game through most of it. You could make the argument the Dodgers kind of had control. They certainly did in Game 1. To an extent, they did today. And then their bullpen just falls apart. 5 runs in the 7th inning. All 5 came with 2 outs. Clutch piece of hitting by the Giants lineup today. I think overall we did a better job of getting guys on base than the Dodgers did. 7 hits, 2 walks. They had something nice going in the 5th, but that was about it. Frasso was pretty solid. Loss is not on him. It is on the bullpen, though. Those guys really struggled. And then overall, offensively, pretty good game. Jung-Hoo Lee was fantastic again. His average through 2 postseason games is 700. Where was this guy last year in October? Jose Ramirez homered as well. We also had RBIs from Happ, and then, of course, 3 by Blake Sabol. Kyle Harrison was off to a red-hot start, then he really cooled off, but the bullpen did a great job, only allowing 3 base runners the rest of the way. So with that, we lead the series 2-0. We still got to win one more, but right now we're in a really good spot. The Dodgers bullpen, as you can see, has blown it 2 games in a row. They've got to perform better here, and they also have to set the tone. Can't let yourselves keep this game too close because our offense has a chance to go on a run. We've got a decision to make here in Game 3. Will it be Mason Miller or Fernando Molina? And I think the sensible choice would be Molina. He did finish in 3rd for the Cy Young after all. So let's have him try to finish things out as we take a look at the rest of the postseason bracket. Rangers lead Minnesota 2-0. The Rays lead the Royals 2-0. And then Atlanta and Milwaukee deadlocked at 1 on the other side of the National League. As for the Giants, they're a game away of making it back to the NLCS for a 3rd season in a row. And we'll see if we can do it on enemy grounds. Here at Dodger Stadium, LA's season is on the line. They were able to perform when their season was on the line in the wild card round, of course, headlined by the walk-off home run by Mike Trout. But this is an entirely different beast. The Giants have been the best team in baseball this year, 107-55. And now currently against the Dodgers, we are 15-1 this season. That is pretty unbelievable. We'll see if we can get the job done here in Game 3. I love a few stress-free days preparing for the NLCS against either Atlanta or Milwaukee. But again, we got to get the job done. This is still the best offense in baseball we're facing off against, with Yoshinobu Yamamoto taking the bump against Fernando Molina. Let's take a look at both lineups 1 to 9. We're going to start Kyler Rodriguez today over Johnny Hackman. Otherwise, regular groups for both sides. And here's Yamamoto, who was solid in the wild card game he pitched. Ended up getting the win. 4.05 ERA, allowing 3 runs in that game. His ERA on the regular season was pretty much identical at just over 4. He had a really good rookie year, got off to a great start in his 2nd season before getting hurt, and he just hasn't been the same guy since his injury. He's still a good pitcher, but not a great one, as Rogers lofts it into right. That one's got some carry, and that one is gone! Leadoff home run for Tommy Rogers, and it's a 1-0 lead. That ball barely scraped over the short fence and right. That would not have been a home run in San Francisco, I can tell you that. A 1-0 lead for the Giants, leading it off with Tommy Rogers, who homered 35 times in the regular season. He gets one here in the postseason. Again, I think a little lucky with the ballpark dimensions, but hey, we're not complaining. Munetaka Murakami swinging and miss on the splitter. Again, his plate discipline continues to be rough here in October, but a good start to the game with the home run by Rogers as we take a look at Fernando Molina, who has essentially converted into a full-time starter now. Third in the Cy Young, 3.03 ERA, 1.1 whip, and a remarkable 210 strikeouts. Over 31.5% of his batters end up K'd. We'll start with James Outman here. He goes down on the running fastball. Molina's been a great regular season player throughout his young career so far, but in the limited postseason opportunity he's gotten, he's been pretty bad. So he's got to shift the narrative as well. As Ohtani sends this one into the opposite field, we heavily skewed the shift to the right side, and that proves to backfire. It's a double for Showtime. He's in scoring position here with 2 away. The Dodgers know they've got to set the tone offensively, especially with us getting the early run from Tommy Rogers. Mike Trout with a huge at-bat. Overall, he's been pretty quiet in this series, but he belts this one into the gap. That'll score Ohtani, and this game is tied at 1. Garrett misplays it, runs into the wall. Trout's going to be able to make his way over to third with an RBI triple. So the Dodgers are hitting the ball well so far. Double by Ohtani, triple by Trout. We'll see if they can bring him in, as it'll be the number 5 hitter who they face off against, Tristan Casas. 1-2, lines it into left. That goes for a hit. Run scores, it's 2-1. And so far, Molina's not doing himself any favors with this playoff narrative. We don't want him to turn into a Sandy Alcantara, in a sense, where he's great in the regular season and forgets how to pitch in the month of October. Mookie Betts hits this one high and deep in the left. At the track, at the wall, it's caught by Lee, a few feet from scraping over and breaking the door wide open. But a good inning nonetheless for the Dodgers. They get 2. RBI triple for Trout, RBI single for Casas. Into the second, Sable goes down looking on the fastball. Good pitch by Yamamoto, who has looked quite good since allowing the leadoff homer to Tommy Rogers. That'll now bring up Jose Ramirez coming off a big game 2 with multiple hits, including a home run, as he hits this one well into center, but that one will be caught by Mike Trout. 6 consecutive outs after the home run by Rogers. Yamamoto settling in, and it certainly helps that his offense is off to a pretty good start. 2-1, moving into the bottom of the second inning. Adley Rutschman hitting in the 7 slot today. Given his regular season and how well he's hit in the postseason, I really don't know why he's hitting 7th, but he goes down looking there to start things off. Molina, of course, showing off his most impressive attribute, his ability to strike guys out. Willie Castro now. He checks this swing. The umpire says he went around, and that pitch might have been in the strike zone anyway. Looking to strike out the side, he'll face off against Jackson Holliday. He sits behind 1-2. Pitch on its way from Molina. Swing and a miss on the 96 running fastball, as Molina's going to run back to the dugout, striking out the side. A much better second inning for Fernando as we move into the third. Kyler Rodriguez's first postseason start of the year, and it'll open up with a walk. Remember last year when he had all those walks in the postseason? Well, he gets one here and finds himself on base with nobody out for Brendan Donovan, who really struggled last year in October, but he's off to a good start this season, but he grounds it to first. Should be 2, and it will. No, he won't! It's a bad throw. It's short. And an error on Mookie Betts. That was a really good scoop by Tristan Casas at first base. Should have been a base hit, really, if anything. They nearly got the double play out of it, but with an error, Donovan is safe at first as Rogers goes down on the splitter. 2 away now for Jung-Hoo Lee. And this one is lined into the gap. Another likely extra base hit for Jung-Hoo Lee. Over half of his at-bats have ended in extra bases. It's a double. His 5th of the NLDS already. Run scores, and we are tied at 2. So even on a day where the Dodgers offense is off to a good start, doesn't matter. We're getting some runs too. Ian Happ looking for the lead. That one will get by Tucker and left. One hops off the wall, and the Giants take the lead 3-2 with an RBI double for Ian Happ. So the San Francisco offense, unlike the last 2 games, hitting the ball early, as that brings up Murakami, goes down looking on the fastball. A good inning, though. We get 2. And again, both runs came with 2 outs. We're getting all of our production, it seems like, when there's 2 outs. All these runs are, again, easily avoidable for the Dodgers. But in the biggest spots, their pitching has not been clutch. Bottom three, Ohtani doubled and scored his first time up as he gets hit number 2, a 102-mile-an-hour single. This time the shift proves to pay off as he finds himself on base with 2 away. Mike Trout was the one who drove him in with a triple. We'll see if Trout can do it again. With 2 away, he's behind 1 and 2, and he pops this one up into foul territory. That was not his pitch. Molina does a good job of getting him to chase the outside slider as it's caught by Murakami. And after a bad first inning, Molina has really settled in. 3-2 lead for San Francisco as we move into the 4th. The Giants looking to add to their lead, as so far they're doing a good job of scoring guys against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Blake Sabol into the gap. That'll go for extra bases. We haven't consistently gotten a bunch of hits today. That's only hit number 4. But when we are getting hits, we're hitting the ball really well. 111 miles an hour off the bat of Sabol. He's in scoring position for Kyler Rodriguez. We'll see if he can bring him home. Look to add to the lead. Count is even, 2-2. This one is skied high and deep. Into right. Back near the track. It is going to be caught. So Yoshinobu Yamamoto is able to get out of the jam this time. It remains 3-2. That'll bring us into the bottom of the 4th now. The Dodgers looking to get back into that same rhythm they had in the first inning where they were spraying a few really nice hits in a row. With 2 away, Adley Rutschman is up. He lines it into left. Jung-Hoo Lee, easy play, makes the grab. Just 1 hit over the last 3 innings for the Dodgers. Molina has retired 10 of the last 11 batters. Still 3-2 going into the 5th on a day where the Dodgers season is on the line. Jung-Hoo Lee up the middle. Castro, what a play! Throw to first is in time. A 1-2-3 inning for Yoshinobu Yamamoto as that brings us to the bottom half of the frame. What a play there at second base by Willie Castro, and he is the one who will lead this inning off. Homered in Game 1, has been pretty quiet since offensively, and he draws a walk. First walk of the day for L.A., and so they've got a man on base trying to tie this game up. It's Jackson Holliday, 2-2. That one scrapes by Donovan. Single into center. 2-1. Nobody out. Top of the order due up. Tucker's going to have a chance with these guys and bearing like a double play or something. Ohtani will as well. And it will not be against Fernando Molina. I think he's pitched a pretty solid game, but I want to get the lefty-on-lefty matchup with both Tucker and Ohtani. So we're going to roll with not Jojo Romero, but instead Genesis Cabrera. He pitched a scoreless inning in Game 1 and had a sub-2 ERA in the regular season. As Tucker pops it up behind the plate in foul territory. Good start. Blake Sabol is there for the first out of the inning. Given the Dodgers' struggles with the bullpen, they've got to get these runners in, as it's now James Outman, another lefty. He goes down looking on the fastball. Huge at-bat for Shohei Ohtani. I think this is the biggest at-bat of the series so far. 2-2. Swinging to this on the fastball. Genesis Cabrera comes out of the bullpen with 2 on. Nobody out. Faces off against 3 lefties. Pop out, strike out, strike out. Great job by Cabrera. A 3-2 lead going into the 6th. If the Dodgers lose this game, that'll be one of the innings they look back on where they're like, yeah, that's where we had our chance. As Ian Happ goes down on the high fastball. Neither team has scored since the top of the 3rd. As you can see, Austin Adams is out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. He fools Garrett on the slider. Adams' ERA coming into this inning was 54. So as you can imagine, it's gone down quite a bit. As he strikes out a pair, it remains 3-2. We'll go back into the bullpen as it's John Schreiber in for the Giants. We used him in sort of low volume throughout the regular season, in part because we had a feeling he was going to be a very consistent middle reliever who pitches in more playoff games than not. So far, he's been used in all 3 here against the Dodgers, and he's looked good in all 3. As Mookie Betts misses the slider, 1-2-3 frame for Schreiber, and this theoretically sets up the back end of the bullpen in some order. Romero, Bautista, and Duvall to finish out the game with the lead. Jorge Lopez out of the bullpen for the Dodgers in the 7th. Didn't look so good in Game 2. He's hoping to change that here today. As Jose Ramirez hits that one over his head for a single into center field. So with 1 away, the Giants give themselves a base runner. Obviously, they feel confident with their 3 best relievers set to probably come in, but they love some insurance. Rodriguez in the left, at the track, at the wall. It's gone! It scrapes over the fence for a 2-run homer, and it's 5-2. Much like the home run in the first inning by Tommy Rogers. That one barely got out. If not for the small fence, that one stays in the park, and it certainly would not have been a home run in San Francisco. But hey, we'll take it. A 5-2 lead for the Giants as Donovan goes down on the curveball. That is a really nice pitch by Jorge Lopez, looking to keep the lead at 3 as he gets Rogers on the curveball as well. But a good inning for San Francisco. Kyler Rodriguez triples the lead with a 2-run shot, and now we've got to feel really good. Again, with our 3 best relievers coming in and a much more comfortable lead. There's a little bit more margin for error, but if we have it our way, these 3 guys are hopefully going to slam the door. We're going to start with Felix Bautista in the 7th. A lot of lefties are scheduled to come up in the 8th, so that's why we're going to have Bautista used now as he strikes out Willie Castro. Now against Jackson Holliday. He finds himself behind 1-2. The Dodgers looking to start a rally, and it does not look like it'll be here. Holliday flies it into center. Rogers is under it. He will make the play, and we are 2 innings away from making it back to the NLCS. We're up by 3. We're in a really good spot, but we can't get too comfortable yet. Kevin Ginkel out of the bullpen for the Dodgers here in the 8th. He has pitched in 5 of 6 postseason games for them as he faces off against Jung-Hoo Lee. Only 1 for 3 today as he launches it into left. If it's fair, it's gone, but it curves foul by around 6.5 feet. Would have been an exclamation point to what has been a historic NLDS for Lee as he ends up striking out on the fastball. 99 from Ginkel for out number 1. That'll bring up Munetaka Murakami. He has 1 hit through these 3 games. Count is even, 1-1. Hits it well to first, but Casas makes the play. And that's what's so dangerous about this team. Even when, I would say, our best offensive player, at least certainly this season, has 1 hit through this 3-game set, we've got 8 other guys who can pick up the slack. Jojo Romero comes in here through the bottom of the 8th, facing off against the top of the order. Tucker, lefty. Outman, lefty. Ohtani, lefty. As Kyle Tucker swings and misses way too early on the sinker. James Outman now behind 1-2. He goes down on the fastball. These lefties cannot touch Jojo Romero. They are now 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts in this series against him. Ohtani just looking to put the bat to the ball, and he does. It's a liner to second. Donovan makes the play, and we are 3 outs away from making it back to the NLCS, presumably with Camilo Doval coming in to close things down. It'll be Jonathan Hernandez out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. He has an ERA at 40, allowing a handful of runs in 2/3 of an inning, as Johnny Hackman comes off the bench as a pinch hitter, and he launches it into left! Could this be the dagger? No, because it's foul by not even 3 feet. That was a close one. Hackman really hit that ball well, and instead he strikes out on the low circle change. So a good inning for Hernandez, although nearly not. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, 4, 5, 6 hitters due up. The Dodgers need at least 3 to keep their inning alive against the closer, Camilo Doval, his first postseason appearance. It was a rocky regular season, at least for his standards. He was a good closer, but far from great. We'll start with Trout. Chases the slider. Unlike the wild card round, no heroics from Mike Trout. That'll bring us to the 5th hitter, Tristan Casas. 1-2. He hits this one well into center. That goes for a single. Okay, there's something. Just got to stack some base runners. If the Dodgers get another one on, that would theoretically put the tying run at the plate. A ground ball, though, would probably end the game with a double play. Keep that in mind, too. Count is even for Mookie Betts. Goes down looking on the cutter. 1 out away. Actually, 1 strike away with Adley Rutschman. The count is full. Season on the line for the Dodgers as Rutschman fouls it off, keeping the game, the series, and again, the entire season on the line for LA. Once more, 3-2 pitch from Doval. Fouls off another one. A long at-bat for Rutschman. This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat. Adley 0 for 3 in this one. Full count again, draws a walk. Really good at-bat there from Adley Rutschman. Waited for the right pitch, didn't get one, and now the tying run is at the plate. Hold on, this game might not be over. 2-2 here for Willie Castro. Dodgers again down to their final strike. Pitch from Doval. Swing and a miss. It's over. The San Francisco Giants have swept the Los Angeles Dodgers and are moving on to the NLCS for a 3rd year in a row, winning this game by the final score of 5-2. Another really strong game pitching-wise. We did not allow anything after the first inning. I think the MVP of this series has to be the entirety of the bullpen. 14 scoreless innings across these 3 games by the pen. They were unbelievable, and as much as the conversation has been around how bad the Dodgers bullpen has been, ours has been equally as good. We really did not have a good game offensively, to be completely honest. Only 1 walk and 6 hits. We did get the 2 homers from Tommy Rogers and Kyler Rodriguez. They both barely scraped over the fence, but again, all home runs are created equal. And then look at the bullpen. 5 innings, 2 base runners allowed, both by Duvall. Innings 5 through 8 were perfect. Fernando Molina wasn't too bad. The first inning he really struggled, but afterwards he was quite solid. Kind of got away from him in the 5th. Cabrera got out of that jam. The Dodgers offense, they could not hit with runners on base consistently throughout this series. Their starting pitching did not do enough to overcome their piss-poor relief efforts. So now, we've got to find out who we're going to play against. Milwaukee leads Atlanta 2-1. They won Game 3, 18-1. They scored 17 runs in the first 3 innings of the game. Spencer Strider was the starter. His ERA is 81. What a showing by Milwaukee. And when you lose by 17 like that, you got to think Atlanta's season is kind of over, right? There's no way they can come back, win 2 in a row, even with a walk-off win in Game 2. But they get the job done in Game 4. The NL MVP, Shane Bieber, with 8 innings of 3-run ball. Atlanta's able to set the tone, scoring 5 in the first. And now it's Game 5. Dylan Cease, Bailey Ober. Who's it going to be? We're getting round 3. Atlanta wins it 4-2. They trailed going into the 8th inning, but they were able to come back and win. Gleyber Torres, 2-run homer in the first. That was it for Milwaukee. Really good start by Bailey Ober, but Clay Holmes is the one who blows it for them. O'Neal Cruz leads the way with a 2-run shot in the 8th. Pretty good start by Dylan Cease, and the bullpen shuts it down. I'd be lying if I said I did not want to match up with Atlanta. I was hoping that we would get another crack at these guys. We've lost to them in the NLCS 2 years in a row. Really, the one big difference this year is that we get home field advantage this time. The Braves are drastically different from last year's team. They traded for Gunnar Henderson. Ozzy Albies is healthy. Matt Olson is healthy. Neither of those guys were available during the NLCS a year ago, and obviously the addition of Henderson is a big one. The rotation is the best in baseball. The MVP in Bieber. The Cy Young the prior year in Michael King. Spencer Strider. Dylan Cease. And unlike the Dodgers, a really good bullpen, including trade deadline acquisition Emmanuel Clase. The Braves will be without Michael Harris, though. Only 4 days left on the injured list, but he will not be eligible to return until the World Series if the Braves were to win. J.P. Crawford and Daniel De Los Santos are pretty close to coming back, but they will not be eligible until the World Series if we are able to make it. Obviously, we're not going to see Logan Webb the rest of the way, but Leody Taveras is back. We're going to have to take somebody off the postseason roster with him now being here. That'll wrap up the episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Next time around, we've got games 1 and 2 of the NLCS Round 3 against Atlanta. We're looking for revenge after they've beaten us 2 years in a row. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.